This story centers on a wealthy mother attempting to bribe her daughter into a divorce, only for the husband to calmly present evidence that detonates two marriages, uncovers 3 decades of lies, and dismantles a family dynasty in a matter of days. Let's dive in. I'm a 32-year-old male working as a financial analyst for a mid-sized consultancy. It's not a glamorous job, but I earn a decent living, around $95K annually. My wife, 30, comes from serious generational wealth. Her father built a commercial real estate kingdom worth 8 figures, while her mother has never worked a day in her life. From the start, her mother despised me. I wasn't elite enough. I didn't come from the right lineage or attend an Ivy League university. My only sin was being middle class and loving her daughter. We've been married for 5 years and together for 7, and her mother made sure those years were difficult. She offered backhanded compliments at every family gathering. "Oh, you're still driving that Honda? How sensible." She constantly made remarks about how her daughter could have done better. Once, during Thanksgiving, she openly stated she hoped her daughter would eventually find someone with actual ambition. I always let it go. My wife would apologize, claiming that was just how her mom was, and I moved on because I loved her, or thought I did. 3 weeks ago, everything shifted. I came home early because a meeting was canceled. As I walked into our apartment, I heard voices in the living room, my wife and her mother. I was about to announce my presence when I heard a specific figure. $1 million. Cash in your account by Friday if you filed the divorce papers this week. I froze in the hallway. My mother-in-law, MIL, continued. "You've wasted 5 years on him. You're 30 now. Your window for finding a suitable match is closing. I'm giving you a fresh start. Take the money, leave him, and I'll set you up with the Henderson boy. He just made partner at his father's firm." I waited for my wife to shut her down, to defend me, to say our marriage wasn't for sale. Instead, I heard, "Mom, I don't know. That's a lot to process." "What is there to think about?" the MIL pressed. "He makes what, 90-something thousand dollars? I'm offering you more than 10 years of his salary to walk away today. You'd be a fool to refuse." Silence. A long, heavy silence. Then my wife's voice came quiet but distinct. "I'll take it." My mother-in-law actually laughed. "Finally, I knew you'd come to your senses." I stepped into the living room. Both of them went pale. "Hey, honey," I said calmly. "Hi, Mom." I always called her Mom just to irritate her. "Don't mind me. Meeting got canceled." My wife started stammering. "That wasn't... You didn't hear... We were just talking hypothetically." "Hypothetically about divorcing me for $1 million? That's an interesting hypothetical." My MIL recovered faster than my wife. She sat up straighter, looking almost proud. "Yes, I offered her money to leave you, and she accepted. You should be grateful. At least now you know exactly where you stand." I looked at my wife. She refused to meet my eyes. "Is that true? You're taking the money?" She finally looked up, her expression turning defiant. "Maybe I am. Maybe Mom is right. Maybe I have been settling." That word, settling, 5 years of my life, and I was just something she settled for. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I just nodded slowly. "Okay," I said. "If that's your decision, I respect it." My MIL looked shocked. She expected drama, begging, or pleading. Instead, I walked to our bedroom, retrieved a brown envelope from my nightstand, and returned to the living room. "Before you finalize anything," I said, handing the envelope to my wife, "I think your father deserves to see this." She opened it, confused. Inside were DNA test results and a letter. About 8 months ago, my father-in-law asked me for a favor. He was updating his will and wanted to include genetic health history for his descendants, as his side of the family has heart issues. He asked me to help him set up one of those ancestry DNA tests. I helped him, he took the test, and the results came back. He wasn't my wife's biological father. My FIL called me confused and devastated, asking what it meant. I explained that according to the markers, they shared no DNA. He broke down. I told him I'd investigate quietly. Maybe it was a lab error. Being a financial analyst, I'm good at digging. I pulled records and made calls. I discovered that around the time my wife was conceived, her mother had a month-long fling with her tennis coach. The timeline matched perfectly. I sat on this information for 8 months. I hadn't told my FIL yet because I wasn't sure what to do with it. I didn't want to blow up a family or hurt him further. But now that my wife had agreed to sell our marriage for a check and her mother sat in my living room looking smug, now felt like the right time. My wife read the letter, her face cycling through 17 emotions in 10 seconds. "What is this?" she whispered. "DNA results proving your dad isn't your biological father, plus my research into who actually is. You should ask your mom about her tennis coach from 31 years ago." My MIL snatched the papers, read them, and went ghostly white. "This is fake. This is a trick." "It's not. Your husband took the test himself. Those are his results. I've been sitting on this to protect the family, but since you've spent 5 years treating me like trash and your daughter just sold me out, I think it's time your husband knows the type of woman you've been married to for 35 years. My MIL stood up. "You wouldn't dare." "Already done." I emailed him copies 2 minutes before I walked into this room. Check his phone. Right on cue, we heard a car screech into the driveway and a door slam. My FIL burst through the front door, face red, hands shaking, clutching his phone. "Is it true?" he roared, looking at his wife. "Is it true?" What followed was the most spectacular implosion of a family unit I have ever witnessed. Update 1. 1 week later. So that escalated quickly. Here is the aftermath of the confrontation. The argument in our living room lasted about 2 hours. My FIL demanded answers. My MIL tried every trick: denial, deflection, tears, claiming the tests were rigged and accusing me of faking evidence. But DNA doesn't lie, and my FIL is a businessman built on facts. He wasn't buying the emotional manipulation. 35 years, he kept saying. 35 years I thought she was mine. My wife tried to play peacemaker. "Dad, can we just be rational?" "Rational?" He turned on her. "You were about to take $1 million to divorce me. Your mother has been lying to me for 3.5 decades, and you want rational?" My MIL then made a critical error. She went on the offensive. "So what if I had an affair? You were always working. You neglected me. That man actually paid attention to me." "So you admit it?" She realized her mistake too late. "I don't mean, that's not what I meant. You just admitted it in front of witnesses." He looked at me. "You recorded this, didn't you?" I held up my phone. I'm not stupid. My FIL walked out without saying goodbye to his wife or daughter. My wife then turned on me. "How could you? You destroyed my family. Your mother offered you cash to leave me. You said yes. Your mother lied to your father for 35 years. I just told the truth. If the truth destroyed your family, maybe the foundation was rotten to begin with." "I wasn't actually going to take the money," she cried. "I heard you say I'll take it clear as day. I want a divorce." She blinked. "What? No, you can't divorce me. I was supposed to divorce you." "The entitlement," I laughed. "It works both ways. My lawyer will contact yours. You should probably stay with your mom tonight." She started crying, angry tears, not sad ones. I spent that night alone in the apartment and slept better than I had in months. The next few days were chaos. My FIL filed for divorce immediately. My MIL tried to contest it, claiming the DNA was obtained illegally, but her lawyer shut that down since the FIL took the test voluntarily. My wife bombarded me with texts, angry, then sad, then manipulative, remember how good we were, and finally threatening. "I'll tell everyone you're abusive." That's when I hired a lawyer and cut contact. By day 3, my MIL was in damage control mode. She showed up at my office lobby, dressed for a gala. "We need to talk. I'll make it worth your while." I laughed. "Are you trying to bribe me now? That's your only move?" "Everyone has a price. Name yours to make this go away." "You can't afford my price. I want a time machine to go back and not meet terrible people." She went red. "I will destroy you. I have connections you can't imagine. Cool. Please leave before security escorts you out. And yes, the building cameras are recording this. Update 2. 3 weeks later. Things have escalated dramatically. First, the divorce. My lawyer is fantastic. She explained that since my wife brought no assets to the marriage and I'm the primary earner, she has little claim. However, due to the 5-year length, she might get short-term support. But given the recorded bribery attempt, we are arguing bad faith. Then came the restraining order. My wife filed one, claiming I was emotionally abusive, and she feared for her safety, a standard tactic to gain leverage. The hearing was a joke. My lawyer presented texts showing a happy relationship and the recording of the $1 million conversation where she sounded anything but scared. The judge denied it, stating it was clearly